Hi homeschooling parents, this is Abhinav for Homeschooling in London, and it's actually day 4 of my 30 videos in 30 days, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the reasons why people homeschool and the reason why you might have decided to homeschool. Some people have several reasons, some people just have one significant reason why they decided to homeschool, and from what I've been seeing, some of the reasons why people decide to homeschool are these are the most common reasons I've found, are to customize and, in a sense, individualize the curriculum and learning environment for each child. Some parents just want to make sure that their child has a customized education rather than an education that is just a general education for every child, one size fits all education, which is most common in the school system. Obviously academic achievement, so their child can accomplish more than those in the public school system. Also to use a different approach to education rather than the standard approach to education that's typically used in the public school system. To use more alternative forms of education, such as like the Waldorf theory, the unschooling method, Montessori theory, which is most often people can only gain access to the Montessori style of education in a private school setting. And obviously, if you were to homeschool, you can just research it, learn about it, and you create a style of learning that is Montessori based. Another thing I've come across is people want to kind of enhance the family relationships between obviously the children and the parents and also the siblings as well. So if you've got more than one child, I've spoken to homeschooling parents that have said that they have managed to enhance that relationship with the siblings, because obviously if you go to a public school, if the kids are not both the same age, they'll be in different classes. They probably won't spend so much time with each other during the day. They'll leave school, come home, have dinner, chill out for a bit, and go to bed and wake up the next day and do the same thing. They don't get a chance to really interact with each other apart from on the weekend and in the holidays. Another thing is people have this belief that socialisation is completely and utterly dormant when you are a homeschooled child. I think that's wrong. I think a lot of parents actually decide to homeschool because they want their children to socialise outside of a school environment. People assume that children only make friends with their peers within a school environment, and that's the only place that you can actually gain social interaction as a child, which is completely wrong. My son has gained more friends outside the school environment than he has when he was within a school environment, because in a sense, when you're in school, you are placed in an environment where all the children are the same age, and you're in a room and you're almost forced to forge friendships with some of these children, and your child might not click with any of those kids, But I'm finding that with my son, he's forging friendships, forming kind of bonds with other children, his peers, that are kind of interested in the same thing. Like, for example, when he goes to drama class, those kids, they like drama. When he goes to other classes like sport and stuff, those kids are interested in sport, and so he kind of manages to interact with them better than if he was within the school environment. As well as allowing your children to interact with different age groups as well, not just in one class with a group of 4-year-olds or a group of 5-year-olds, a group of 6-year-olds. A lot of homeschool children get a chance to interact with 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. They get a chance to interact with other age groups as well. Another thing, and I've spoken to several homeschool parents that have had this, that their children have had this experience, and the number one thing is bullying. A lot of parents I've spoken to have said bullying. That's been the most the most popular reason why they decided to homeschool was because their children were getting bullied in school, and so they wanted to protect their child and place their child in an environment where that child is protected from physical violence, protected from emotional and even sexual abuse in some schools. And also in the school environment, a lot of the time you'll find that sexual orientation is a major issue. And if your child is like gay, or you know, for example, you could have a girl that kind of wants to be a boy that kind of wants to be a girl, and you'll find that if they go to school, they will get ripped apart. Children like that. Today I watched and last thing is and I'm going to go back to the bullying thing, because I've watched a very disturbing video today on Facebook, and I'm going to see if I can try and insert that footage. I don't know if I can insert the footage, because I don't know whether it's on Facebook or whether it's just on Facebook, or if it's actually available on YouTube as well. But if it's available on YouTube, I will see if I can insert parts of that footage, because it's really disturbing, and it really hits home this issue of bullying and how appalling it is, and how some children really suffer. Anyway, the last thing is to teach and impart a particular set of values and beliefs, and also like kind of worldly view to your children, because obviously going to school it can kind of hinder that, you know, the child being able to learn a certain set of values and beliefs, because a lot of the time the values and beliefs that they learn in school, a lot of the time are what they have decided to impart on the child, and all the children get taught the same thing, whereas if you can sort of customize that to what you want at home. Anyway, this issue of bullying, I watched a very disturbing video today, and I think that it's, you know, I'm so glad that some of these celebrities are actually getting involved with anti-bullying campaigns. Not just Demi Lovato, she's involved in anti-bullying campaigns. I think people really do need to sort of make a stand against this bullying situation. I watched a very disturbing video of a young boy. He had the little note cards, and he wasn't talking, he was just, you know, had a written a sentence on each note card, and he was just shuffling the cards for each sentence. And this boy was he just looked like such a nice young boy, and he's absolutely petrified of going to school for this up and coming term, because he gets bullied to a point where he cuts himself and harms himself, and wanted to kill himself a couple of times because of the fact that he gets bullied. And the reason is he doesn't actually say that he's gay, but he says that people call him gay, fag, and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, I'm assuming that he's gay, and people obviously don't take kindly to that, because I witnessed extreme bullying of a gay boy when I was in school, and I had to really take a stand and stand up for him, because it was just so appalling. I couldn't stand by and just do nothing. So this boy is basically petrified of going to school because of being taunted and bullied as a result of him. I'm assuming that he is gay. Even if he isn't gay, whatever, bullying is not acceptable. Whatever the case may be, whether he's gay, straight, whatever, bullying is not acceptable. Some of these children in these schools are so nasty. And even 4-year-olds, I've seen bullying other 4-year-olds. It has got to stop. And it's not a wonder why some parents are just yanking their children out of school and homeschooling them. And I left a comment on the Facebook, and I said, could this child not be homeschooled? I don't know his family situation. I don't know his family background. I don't know whether he's come from a single parent home and his mum can't, homeschool him because of the fact that she needs to go to work. I don't know his background, so I don't really know what he could do possibly to get himself out of that situation. But, I'm sure there must be some kind of systems in place in certain states that will allow a child who gets bullied to be taken out of school and homeschooled, and for that homeschooling to be funded by the state. There must be some kind of provisions for that. I know that in the UK, if your child is struggling in school, as in getting into trouble all the time and all that kind of stuff, and even getting in some cases, if the child is getting bullied, and as a result of getting bullied is affecting the child's behaviour, they are allowed to attend an online school, and they've created all these online schools in the UK for each council or county, and the child is allowed to do their work from home, and they have to attend the centre once a week. I've actually looked into that, and I think that's a very good option and viable option for some children. I looked into online school for my son when he turns 10 years old, because they don't have online school for kids in the UK under the age of 10. So I've looked into the online school thing for him when he turns 10 years old. I think that would be really good for him. I actually don't think, I mean, he's going to be homeschooled, he's going to be flexi-schooled from September, so he'll be at home for 3 days, and he'll be attending a Montessori style, very, very small kind of family run school, where in each class there's only about 7 or 8 children, for 2 days of the week. And he has kind of said that that's what he wants to do, so I'm allowing him to do that for now. But for 3 days out of the week he will be homeschooled, and he will be at home with me. This bullying thing is something that I'm very, very concerned about, and I want to address it a little bit further, in the sense of maybe doing some further videos where I can even interview people and stuff like that. I don't know how far this is going to go, but I really feel very strongly about this thing, and I think that people really need to kind of take a stand against it, because it's, people kill themselves as a result of bullying, and it's not a joke. Anyway, I don't want to get too emotional about this situation at this moment. But yeah, that was the video for today. What's your reason for homeschooling? Out of all the reasons I give, out of all the reasons that I gave, what was the number one reason for you why you decided to choose homeschooling? What was my reason? I wanted to customise the education. I also wanted to teach him, my own set of values and beliefs. I was also very concerned about the bullying aspect of things, because at the school that he was going to, there was a lot of really, really nasty kids that kind of didn't, so to speak, bully him, but they were really nasty to him, and I didn't really think that's a child of 4 years old should have to go through that. And I also wanted him to sort of come out of his shell a little bit more by allowing him to interact with all different types of children, not just the children in one room. And I wanted more freedom for both of us, so he wouldn't have to wake up every day rushing to go to school and fighting the rush hour traffic to get to school. I just found it extremely stressful. I found it extremely counterproductive, and I didn't really enjoy it, and he didn't really enjoy it either, and he was exhausted by the end of the night every night. He was fed up with it. By the end of 2 weeks going, he was fed up with it and said he doesn't want to go anymore. Say, I don't want to go to school today, I'm not in the mood. For a 4-year-old to say that is very, you need to take it seriously for a 4-year-old. Some kids just go, I've got a bellyache, and a lot of the time it's just, they're just tired and they just can't really be bothered. But there's sometimes when the child is trying to give you a message, and a lot of the time parents kind of just brush the child off and go, oh, I'm the parent, you do what I say, and I don't really think that's right. Children are human beings at the end of the day, and regardless of how little experience they've had on this planet, they still have the right to be able to, they should still have the right to talk and explain how they feel, rather than just cutting them off when they say, oh, I'm feeling like this today, mummy, I don't want to do this, and you just go, tough, you have to do it. I don't really think it's very productive to actually force children to go to school. Forcing a child to go to school is one of the worst things you could do, because even if what they're learning is even if what they're learning is appropriate for them at the school that they're going to, if you force them to go, it gets to a point where you lose them and they start kind of withdrawing back, and they don't want to actually have any part in education. And I experienced this with my son. Like, he got to a point where I was kind of having to kind of drag him out of bed to go to school, and it wasn't a very nice experience for me or for him. Anyway, this is Abana for Vlogging for Health. Thanks a lot for watching. Vlogging for Health. Abana for Homeschooling in London. I am going to put some links below for my other channels, so please do check them out. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.